friends, welcome to GALLANT's HEPGEC program. Today we're going to revise your important syllabus by solving previous year questions. Revision is one of the most important things that you can do to ensure that you get through the preliminary examination. There is so much information that you need to remember, recollect and reproduce in your exam. So revision is one of the important things that you can do to ensure that you do it properly. You recollect and reproduce. So let's start with today's session with the first question from history. The Pune Pact, which was signed between Ambedkar and Mahatma Gandhi, provided for A. Creation of a dominion status for India, separate electorate for Muslims, separate electorate for Harijans, joint electorate with reservation for Harijans. Now, Pune Pact is an important event. The signing of the Pune Pact is an important event in the history of our freedom struggle. This came about after the conclusion of Third Round Table Conference, under which the British government under Ramsay MacDonald announced unilaterally by themselves the communal awards, whereby Harijans were given separate electorate than the general population. Gandhiji was dead against this. He saw this as a part of British idea of divide and rule. So he took out a fast against this proceeding in Yerawada jail, and a compromise was struck between him and B.R. Ambedkar, and the compromise was signed under Pune Pact, under which they will not go for a separate electorate but a reserved seats, a joint electorate but reserved seats for Harijans. Now let's return to the question. Creation of dominion status for India, which was not part of Pune Pact. So A is not your answer. Separate electorate for Muslims? No. C. Separate electorate for Harijans? Yes. It could be your answer, C. And D. Joint electorate with reservations for Harijans. D is the more appropriate answer for your question. So D is your answer in this question. Now the second question. Which of the following is treated as artificial currency? ADR, GDR, SDR, and both ADR and GDR. Now, after the establishment of the New World, after the end of the World War II, trade was given much importance in the international sphere of activities. And IMF, International Monetary Fund, was created to ensure smooth trading of goods and services between countries. And IMF recommended two items, gold and dollar, US dollar. These two were recognized as instruments of international exchange between nations. But the trade expanded to such a degree that the availability of both this was not able to cover the increasing amount of trade. So a new instrument was needed, and the solution was given as special drawing rights. SDR was created by IMF to supplement the gold and US dollar for international trade. Now, ADR and GDR are respectively American deposit receipts and global deposit receipts. It represents investment in foreign companies held by nationals. American ADR is in America, USA, and GDR is given the receipts are given in European regions. So now we can answer the question. The only one which corresponds as an artificial currency, which parallels as an artificial currency, is SDR. ADR and GDR represents the ownership of shares in a foreign company, which is not treated as currency. So the nearest closest equivalent for an artificial currency could be SDR. So our answer here in this question is C, SDR. Now, the third question from polity. Consider the following statements. The Legislative Council of a state can be larger than half of the Legislative Assembly of that particular state. The governor of state nominates the chairman of Legislative Council of particular state. Which of the following statements given above are correct? 1, 2, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Now, in the normal situation, a state in India has only one chamber. A unичambral system is followed. where there is only one chamber called Legislative Assembly. But in exceptions, roughly, in India there are 6 states with 2 chambers, upper and lower, and they all have legislative assemblies, and this 6 states have legislative, what you call legislative councils. These are the upper house in bicameral state system. And the power to create a legislative council is vested with the parliament under Article 169. To create a legislative council, the respective state which wants to create a legislative council, the assembly of that state must pass a resolution in that favor and send it to parliament. Parliament, on receiving that request, will pass another bill granting them a legislative council. The same procedure is followed when you want to remove a legislative council. And this legislative council is indirectly elected. Now, let's return to the question. The legislative council of a state can be larger than half of the legislative assembly of that particular state. Actually, the number fixed is not more than 1/3. So, statement 1 is wrong. So, we can remove A, C, and A and C from our answer. Now, we are left with B and D. The governor of a state nominates a chairman of legislative council, which is wrong. In fact, the members elects from among themselves a chairman for legislative council. So 2 is also wrong answer. It's wrong statement. So our answer here is D alone, which is neither 1 nor 2. Now let's move on to the next question, which is from geography. Electrically charged particles from space traveling at a speed of several hundred kilometers per second can severely harm living beings on Earth. What prevents them from reaching the surface of the Earth? Now, Earth, as far as we know, is the only habitable planet in our solar system and in our galaxy. And Earth is protected around it with a bubble of electromagnetic sphere. What this does is, stars like the sun shoots out in all directions highly charged radiating particles. These particles are harmful, as the statement says, very harmful for living animals. So, what this electromagnetic sphere does is, when the particles hits them, it is deflected towards the poles. This deflection prevents the highly harmful particles from reaching the surface of the Earth and harming living beings on the surface of the Earth. So, let's return to the question. The Earth's magnetic field diverts them towards its poles, which is true. A could be your answer. Just to make sure, let's read through the rest of the options. Ozone layer around the Earth reflects them back to the outer space, which is wrong. Ozone layer reflects ultraviolet rays. It has nothing to do with this radiating particles. Now, moisture in the upper layers of the atmosphere prevents them from reaching the surface of the Earth, which is wrong. D, none of the statement of A, B, C given above are correct, which is also wrong. We have our answer. Our answer is A. Now, the 5th question from environment. Photochemical smoke is a resultant of reaction among, your options are given here. First of all, a smog is a combination of smoke and fog. A photochemical smoke is formed as a result of reaction between nitrogen oxides and hydrocarbons under the presence of sunlight. Sunlight is very important for this. As the very name suggests, it's a photochemical reaction. So sunlight can't be avoided from the equation. So let's read the question now. Let's read the options now. Let's try to eliminate something. C and D are prime candidates for elimination, because at the end of it, it's CO2, CO2, NO2 at low temperature. It is, we know it's a photochemical reaction can only happen under the intense rays of the sun. So C can be eliminated. Now, D. High concentration of NO2, O3 and CO2 in the evening. Evening again, we need good sunlight for the formation of smoke. Actually, photochemical smoke appears more during summer season, due to the very fact that there is abundance of solar radiation during that time. So D again can be eliminated. Now we are left with only two, A and B. It's a photochemical smog is a photochemical reaction between nitrogen oxide and hydrocarbons. So our answer, only possible answer here is A. A is your answer in this question. So that's all for today. See you tomorrow.